Hey guys, welcome to Nita's Fluid Woodworks. I'm Nita and today I'm going to show you how to make ocean waves. This is really simple. I think it just has more to do with the products that are being used than a technique. I get a lot of people asking questions how to do it, so here we go. For my waves, I suggest using a liquid pigment. And where's my white? So these are three that I really like. I'll put the links in the description. And there is an additive that you can add. It is called Resi Blast. I don't like it that much, but you can do it. Don't add a lot because basically this is for blooms and things like that. But it creates cells nonetheless. So basically if you put too much of this, it's just like silicone oil or alcohol. It's gonna leave divots in your piece. So these are the whites. I suggest liquid pigments for any of these, like the ocean. I see a lot of people using powder, and I think that's where they kind of mess up, expecting different results. So what we're going to do, we're just going to mix our resin. Make sure you mix your resin thoroughly, because if you don't, then you're going to be doing this all for nothing. Okay, so just a little tip. If your resin, I live in Michigan, so it's chilly. If your resin is thick, get a container with hot water. Make sure you don't splash water in your resin, because then it'll mess it up. But just sit it in there and it'll lower the viscosity of it, and it'll be easier to work with, stir, mix, move around, everything. So just don't get it too hot, because once mixed resin gets too hot, then it's going to have an adverse reaction, and an exothermic reaction, and it's not going to be good. So basically what I'm going to do is I like to do my oceans as if it was a real ocean, and that's with depth in the color. So I use different colors. This is dark turquoise from Just Resin, and these are epoxy pigment pastes. I know they're really hard to get in the United States, but Artist Till Death gets them and sells them out of Texas, and that's who I buy these through. So this is Candy Blue, right? I think it's Candy Blue. Yeah, Candy Blue from Just Resin. And there actually is a way to make your own epoxy paste. Maybe I'll figure that out. And so you don't need a lot. Like a little bit goes a long ways. But I do not use where's my turquoise? So I am almost out of these, but I've got enough for this because it doesn't take a lot. So this is that teal that I use. It's so freaking pretty. That. And for my white, I like to use titanium white by Just Resin, and I also like to use Casted Craft, as you can see. So I like these two. Okay, and that's gonna be this little guy right here. And this is where you would add your Resi Blast if you're using it. And I will show you an example of using Resi Blast as well. But Okay, so I'm going to have two containers, one with the just the cast and craft. This is more foamy to me, and I'm going to label it. When I'm doing this, I use a torch, I use a heat gun, and sometimes my mouth. And the ratios to what I mix my colors are a lot of turquoise, a little bit less candy blue, and the least is the dark turquoise, because that's the depth, the deep color, and I'll put that just on the end. Okay, so I left a little bit of clear in here, and that's for my waves. So this is the turquoise. I want a little bit more of that, because I do like this color when it mixes in there. Okay. Candy blue. That's that one here. There's that color. Here's the dark turquoise. See that? And this is turquoise luster. Now they were out of this one when I tried to get it. This one is a favorite. This one's a really good seller. So this is the titanium white, and this is the just resin. I'm going to lay my dark color down. Okay, so we're gonna go candy blue now. And then we're going turquoise. So a lot of people use like spatulas or the putty knives or anything like that. I use my hands just because I can control it better, and I feel if there's any dust or anything in my surface. So I cover my edges, I bring it down over my edges, and then I transition the colors into the other ones. Switch your gloves. Now I'm going to torch it, add heat, and it's not going to be with the heat gun because I'm going to do that in a second. But this is just going to thin the epoxy out a little bit and let it move a little bit easier. So I'm actually going to flip these around because I'm going that way. Okay, so I'll try to zoom in on this one piece right here. I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down some clear, and this is going to allow the white to ride over these blues and teals. Okay. This is the one with titanium white and cast and craft, and I'm going to lay down so I'm gonna do kind of 2 layers in one pour. Okay, and I'm going to push. So this heat gun that I have, it has a nozzle on it, and that concentrates the air. So that kind of went a little crazy. So this is gonna need a second layer, but I'm going to add the foamy, frothy looking stuff up here, and that is just cast and craft. I like the way it looks frothy. So that is what I do. Okay, so here is this one. And basically all I'm going to do again is push it. And I want the froth up here as well. So I'm just going to add cast and craft to what's left of this clear down here. And I'm going to give myself that frothy look. And then I'll show you how to make that look realistic as well. So if there's surface tension anywhere, I'm just going to break it with my finger, and that would be like the divots and whatever. So after I do that, I'm going to put this on low and low heat. Okay, and I'm going to blend this foamy. Remember, I turn the heat down. You don't want to hold a lot of heat on here for a long time. This is not good. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one as well. Sorry. I'm going to get it together. I promise. Okay. I'll do the same thing over here. How much that looks? Okay. And there we go. So once again, where that surface tension was, you run your torch over it, and if you broke it with your finger, it should come together. And if it doesn't, I took my gloves off. Just do that, and it will. Also, the torch will create cells in your pigments. Okay, so if you've got drips like this, you see how that's separated right there? What you can do, this just came from right there. You can actually just set it there and then hit it with the torch. So you don't, like if there's any spaces that were just kind of, so if there's like any spaces that just kind of missed color. I don't like to mess with the cells when they flow over like that, just because it flows and it looks really good. But if there's a naked spot like this, I'll just do a patch, and I'll just do a patch from whatever's down here, because basically that white and that blue is all in there. And it's gonna come together and it's gonna look amazing. You see how it looks clumpy? Well, once I hit it with the torch slightly, because you don't want it to just fall off again, so do it enough to just level itself out, and voila. So I'm going to hit it with the torch one more time wherever I get a patch. It's not even really a patch, it's just... And if anything is unlevel from blowing or anything and you just don't want to work your epoxy no more, you can most definitely do a second layer. So, but these are going to level out beautifully and they look freaking crazy like I wanted them to. Like this. So that is more of the colors that this is. So I just wanted this to be like really crazy. I've got realistic calm looking oceans, but I didn't want that for this. So these boards remind me of chaos. Mama.